Hey, welcome to my GodFit channel. This is just basic Christianity 101 simple topics with simple answers. And today's topic, we're going to talk about giants post-flood part 2. So let's review. Giants were very real back in the days of Noah, and they're very real today, just rarely seen in today's world. Now, giants are a hybrid race of beings between fallen angels and human women. These half-breeds were the only way the fallen angels who rebelled against God could rule the earth. Because remember, God, aka Jesus, gave earth to mankind to rule, like Jesus rules in the heavens. Anyway, after Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, this transgression caused a ripple effect and allowed these fallen angels full access to mate with human women. The offspring of these half-human and half-angels are called giants, aka Nephilim. And this is how the giants came to be on earth and why they were created. God did not create this race of evil beings. Therefore, this race of beings is an abomination to God. Now, according to the book of Enoch, millions to billions of these fallen angels rebelled and were cast to earth, all led by Satan. Now, out of these billions, only 200 of these fallen angels rebelled even more against God's laws, and they're the ones that mix the species of angels with humans. These 200 fallen ones are called watchers. Now, there are many more watchers than just the 200. Number of them is truly unknown. Anyway, these watchers were in charge of watching over mankind and teaching us or them about the kingdom of heaven and of God. In Galatians 3:19 and Acts 7:53 says, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. Now, out of all the fallen angels, only 200 of these watchers defiled mankind and had kids with human women. Now, what's crazy, according to some theories, if you go to on top of Mount Hermon, which is in Syria today, which is the highest UN base on earth, at the UN base at Mount Hermon, you can see a large stone called a watcher stone with an unknown language written on it. The conspiracy is that this rock was the area where these fallen angels descended to earth and signed a written pledge, vowing to disrupt the earth and take over by their kids, in defiance to God. These 200 angels were responsible for causing all of this chaos, and this act was extremely repulsive in God's eyes. So he bound all the 200 of these watcher angels and cast them into prison in the abyss, Jude 1:6-7. Anyway, before he cast them into the abyss, he made them watch their kids, aka the giants, and all the generation of their kids fight each other and kill each other for several hundred years. Then he made them watch their sons, the giants, drown in the flood. Then after the flood did God cast these angels into the abyss, according to the book of Enoch, in which they will be released from prison during the tribulation period, Revelation chapter 9. Now, this is important because the Bible says that there were giants before and after the flood. Well, after the flood, God did not allow any more angels to reproduce with human women. So the giants after the flood was a result of two different things: human demonic possession and DNA tampering. This technology was given from the rest of the fallen angels to Nimrod during his Babylonian empire. Yes, Nimrod. His whole empire was responsible for the start of human demonic oppression and possession. Meaning before the flood, there was no demonic possession, only after the flood. In other words, because the angels could not breed with human women by themselves anymore, or else they too would be cast into the abyss like the other 200, they had to possess a man and saturate his seed. Now, a man can be possessed with up to 2,000 or more demons in them, Mark 5:13. So once an evil spirit possesses a man, and through man and his seed, yes, a demonic seed of power and strength, could they get these women pregnant and have giants. So in other words, Satan and all the other fallen angels who were not cast into the abyss created a different generation of giants and other genetically altered beings. This is why there were giants after the flood. Now, key point, these giants were not supernatural beings like the ones before the flood. But these giants were big and strong as well, some up to 40 feet tall, according to the book of Amos. And this is how Satan, aka Lucifer, will create and make the Antichrist. He will breed a human woman by a possessed man from him and other evil spirits, and they will have his son, which will be a spiritually possessed seed. Now, Apollo will be the spirit that actually comes up from the abyss, and he will live within the Antichrist. Yes, the same fallen angel Apollo that did the same thing before the flood will possess the Antichrist. The spirit of Apollo, under Satan himself, will control the Antichrist to rule the world during the last 3.5 years of the tribulation period. Revelations 9:11, 11:7, and 13:1. The Antichrist will have supernatural powers. He will be a demigod with evil spirits in him and half genetically altered DNA. Anyway, this is why and how there are giants after the flood. Two different breeds of giants with different powers and abilities. Because remember, if any angel started breeding with human women again, spirit to human, they too would be cast into the abyss as well. 2 Peter 2:11. So they had to adjust their agenda and tactics on crossbreeding with humans. Now, this is why demon possession post-flood is so highly used by these fallen angels and evil spirits today. The next video, we will go over the connection between fallen angels and all the evil and unclean spirits that we face today. Read these chapters in full for greater faith. Mark 5, Acts 7, Galatians 3, 2 Peter 2, Jude 1, and Revelations 9 through 12. You have a good day. Be safe and stay away from bad people because bad company corrupts good character. And always remember, to God be all the glory. Jesus really is God. Jesus really is Lord. Peace.